Assalamu alaikum students. Hope you are safe, sound and healthy. Okay, so let's start with the chapter Basics of Information Technology. That is our chapter number 1. Basics of Information Technology. Now, last time students, we have started with the computer system and we have seen the computer system can perform 5 major functions. Okay, computer system we have started. And we have finished with the computer system and we were about to start with the architecture of the computer system. Okay, so this we have finished, and what computer system does is it basically performs 5 major functions, we can say, or the operations. What it does, it accepts data or instruction by way of input. Okay, then second, what it does, it stores data. Okay, third, we have seen that it processes the data. Then fourth, what it does, it gives you the output. Yes, and the overall what we have seen is what, students, it controls all the operations inside a computer. So this we have seen in the last lecture, and we have started with the architecture of a computer, right? And we are about to do this architecture of a computer system, or the computer, we can say that. Just the computer system. Okay. Architecture of a computer. Now, in this, students, what we'll see the input device or the input units, the central processing unit, that is the CPU, and the output unit. Okay. In architecture of computer, we have studied that, students, that computer architecture is a specification detailing of how a set of software and hardware technology standards interact to form a computer system. Okay, so in short, we can say that it is specification detailing. It's a specification detailing. Now, here, what, students, it makes the computer architecture, that how a set of software and hardware technology standards interact to form a computer system. And in short, we can say that computer architecture refers to how a computer system is designed and how it works. Okay, what we can say that how a computer system designed and how it works. Computer system is designed and how it works. Okay, so, and we had seen that input, 3 basic components: input unit, central processing unit, and output unit. We are going to learn this in detail. Okay, so 3 basic components, students will just see the basic components. Number one is your input unit. Second one is your central processing unit. And the third one is your output unit. This we are going to learn. Okay. Now, what is input unit, students? The very first which we are going to begin is, what is the input unit? Input unit. Let's start with the input unit. Input unit comprises of input devices and all the devices which is used to give the instructions, that is called as the input devices. Now this unit helps users to enter data and commands in a computer system. Okay, so data can be in the form of numbers, words, actions, commands, etc. The main function of input device is to direct commands and data into computer. Computer then uses its CPU to process the data and produce output. Okay, so input unit is what, students? It is basically to enter data and commands. And commands into a computer. Basically, we can say it is used to give instructions. Okay, students. So data can be in any form, like numbers, words, actions, commands, etc. The main function of the input unit is what, students? To direct commands and data into computers. Okay, and it uses CPU to process the data. Okay, the very common example of input device is, the very first which comes to your mind is what, students? Keyboard. Yes. Then comes, yes, mouse. Yes, we have studied this since our school days. Yes, keyboard, mouse. Then what? Joystick. Then, yes, there are so many input devices. Okay, so now other examples which nowadays is again getting very common, becoming common, is the barcode reader. Yes, barcode reader, magnetic link, barcode reader. When you go to mall or somewhere, when the technology is advanced, they use barcode reader to scan the prices of the products. Yes, magnetic link, character reader. Yes, students, these are the new type of input devices. Magnetic link, character reader is called as your MICR. Okay, then you have optical character reader, OCR. Reader, OCR, etc. These are the few input unit or input devices, we can say, which is used to give commands, okay, to give instructions to the computer system. Okay, so another example of input devices is touch screens. Nowadays, our mobile phones, or even the computer system, laptop, there are so many new versions of these devices, Android devices, smart devices, okay, which uses the touch screen feature to enter the instructions, to enter the command to that particular device, so that the output will be taken from them. Okay, then users can simply touch these screens without using any other devices to enter commands. Yes, so from smartphones to ATM machines, these input devices are becoming very popular nowadays. Okay, so this touch screen. Touch screen. Then we have ATM machines and other smart devices which uses touch screen to enter the command. That means we don't want to enter any other devices. We don't need to give the command. Just simply touch the screen and have the access to different types of output as per the requirement. We'll just see if we can get the example of barcode reader, MICR and OCR. Just try to just see this if we have. Let's see. Can read all the characters, okay, which is written with the ink. Okay, so easily the system can identify, okay, what is the name of that. For example, just see here, this all is written in the ink. Okay, so magnetic ink character reader can easily identify all these characters, okay, written with ink or written with your, even this on check, the typed characters are also the ink. Okay, so whatever is written with the ink, it can easily scan that and you can have the access to the details. An optical character reader, will just see this also. See this, how the characters are getting read by this device. Okay, so it is also the input device of character recognition. Okay, so when you want to read certain characters with the help of your this device, optical character device, okay, we can have it. Optical character recognition or optical character reader is the electronic or mechanical conversion of images of typed, handwritten or printed text into machine encoded text. Okay, whether from a scanned document, a photo of a document, a scene photo, for example, the text on signs and billboards in a landscape photo. Okay, so these are the devices which is used to recognize, okay, whatever things are written, okay, in other formats, either with the ink characters or with the optical characters. Okay, students, so we can easily just have the scanning of these particular characters with these types of devices. Okay, students, so just see. Okay, these are the machines which are used to recognize the data, okay, in the system format. Okay, students, so in this way we can easily get the output of that particular detail. Okay, so here what input unit is what, students? It is the unit which helps users to enter data and commands into a computer system. Okay, data can be in the form of numbers, words, actions, commands, etc. Okay, and the main function of input devices is what, students? Is to direct commands and data into computer. Okay, then it uses CPU, that is the central processing unit, to process data and produce the output. The very common example, students, which we have seen, okay, is the keyboard and mouse. Then comes the barcode reader. Okay, we have not seen the barcode reader. We just have a look on the barcode reader as well. Barcode reader. Look, barcode reader. Whenever you go to mall or some supermarket, mostly they are having this barcode reader so that they can get all the details plus the amount, the MRP of that. And then if you want to pay, okay, your money through your card or whatever, then also they can read that barcode on the card which you have. So in this way, the transaction takes place. Okay, students, so this is the use of the barcode reader. It acts like a scanner. Okay, students. So these are the few examples of your input unit. Okay. Then next is your CPU, that is the central processing unit. Next we'll see central processing unit. That is the CPU. Okay, CPU. Now CPU students, as we have studied since our childhood, we can say the school days, that it is the brain of the computer. Yes. Whenever somebody asks you what is the CPU is the central processing unit, and it is called as the brain of a computer. Yes, why it is called as the brain of computer, students? Because all the processing is done by the CPU. Without CPU, there is no processing, there is no output to get, okay, to access. So without the CPU, things cannot be controlled, okay, in the system. So that's why CPU, central processing, is very much necessary. That's why it is called as the brain of a computer. Okay, like our brain gives the commands to our body parts what to do next. Okay, the same way the CPU takes the input and it processes that input and gives result according to the commands. Okay, students. So here, what after receiving data and commands from users, students, what happens in CPU, that is in central processing unit, a computer system has to process it according to the instructions provided. Okay, if a user wants to have a document to be saved, so it will save the documents. If a user wants to have the printout, so it will give, when a user gives the command of the printout comes from the printer. Okay, students, so these are the functions or the operations done by the CPU according to the commands. If you want to listen to music will be played. Okay. So here what, students, it has to rely on a component called the central processing unit. The CPU further uses these three elements. Okay. Which are these three elements? Arithmetic and logic unit. Yes. Then control unit and memory. So central processing unit, let me write brain of a computer. During school days we have studied this. So here what, students, what happens, that a computer system process all the instructions according to the instructions provided, and it has to rely on a component called the central processing unit. Okay, then this CPU is further has three main components. Okay, it has three main components. What are the three main components, students? The very first is your arithmetic and logic unit. Number one is arithmetic and logic unit. Then second one is the control unit. And the third one is your memory. Okay. So here in your textbook, a block diagram has been given. So I must draw it first and then we will move further. A block diagram of a CPU or of a computer. Okay, basically CPU is the main part of the computer. So that's why it's called as a brain of a computer. Now we'll just see the block diagram of a computer. Again, the instructions are flowing back and forth in both the directions. Okay. And this one is the right separate. So this one is your arithmetic logic unit. That is the okay, this one is your control unit. That is CU. And this two box is the memory. Okay. Memory. This one. Is your input unit. This is the output unit. This is your data, and this is your information. Okay, this is your information. Now, this is your memory. Secondary and primary. This is the block diagram of your computer. Okay, so here it is divided into three parts. This memory is one part. And this control unit is another part, arithmetic logic. Okay, so here you have to study the block diagram also in okay, because in CPU we have arithmetic unit, control unit, and memory. Okay, so input unit we have already finished. Okay, students, so we are going to finish the and this is what? This is the CPU, central processing unit. Okay, and block diagram of the computer. This is your CPU, and this all together is your block diagram. Okay, so we have seen the central processing unit definition, the basic. Now in the next lecture, inshallah, we'll start with the arithmetic logic unit, control unit, and memory. Okay, students. So hope you have understood till here. So inshallah, we'll see things in the next lecture. Okay, we see this. This is a block diagram. Okay, block diagram of a. We'll one by one. We'll just have the explanation of all the three components. Students, and one more thing, please log into your OLE account. Okay? OLE. Okay, go here and try to practice more and more, students. Okay, so unless and until you won't practice, you won't be able to have a grasp of your objective, because this is total objective. Okay, students, so just try to have the access. If you face any problem, just go to the number given on the website and contact on that number. Okay, log in with your correct details. Okay, already those students who have registered, they have to just check their details whether it is correct or not. If it's not, you can edit from there. Okay, so until then, just take care, stay safe, stay blessed. Assalamu alaikum.